All right, well, we got our first scrimmage behind us, and so I guess this is day 9, and awesome. Really pleased. I was telling the team there, this is way better first scrimmage than our first scrimmage last spring. Way better, much more competitive. Really, all the groups much more competitive. Saw a lot of good things. Still got a lot we got to improve, and penalties and some miscues, but I thought they competed. I thought it was very competitive as far as wins and losses versus with the good on good all the way through. And got a lot of different. Yeah, man, you too. Got a lot of different situational work, but really just spot the ball and play and made sure we got all the field positions and got a little short yardage and goal line at the end. But Potter's been amazing. I think he's now about 34 out of 35 in spring practice. He'd win the Groza with that. It's amazing what type of 9 days he's had. So did some kickoff, did some punt, got plenty of field goal, working on our snappers. Jack Maddox is doing a nice job and trying to develop the next guy behind him. So a lot of good things, Good start, and we're excited to finish it up.
Dabo, has there been talk about maybe having a spring game without fans because of the spreading coronavirus?
I'm sure there's been all kind of talk about anything and everything. We'll do whatever they tell us to do, but there's, I think, everybody out there's got a plan. If this, then that. If this, So, but no talk of that, right now in the immediate. But as we all know, anything can change. Seems like every day.
Coach, who were some guys on offense that had some explosive plays today, and any guys on defense forcing any turnovers?
Yeah, Lee Anthony had a nice interception today, and he's had a good 9 days because especially with guys being down, Booth working back, Mario still trying to get back. DK was banged up a day or two, and Lee Anthony has gotten a ton of work. And he has really taken advantage of it. So I'm proud of him. Had a nice play today, nice interception. And I think it was the only turnover that we had. But right now, Travis is Travis, what you would expect. Lin J has done some good things, but probably the one guy right now, I think all the receivers are really starting to gel. I thought Frank had his best day today out of all 9 days. I thought Amari had his best day today out of all 9 days. Joe Ngata has had a great spring, and very steady, very consistent. The one guy that's probably been the brightest spot is Cornell. He's leading the team in receptions right now. He had a big touchdown catch today. He had another huge play, one-handed catch. So he's playing faster and with more confidence than he's played. It's the best 9 practices he's had in his Clemson career, consistency-wise. Just day in and day out. He's got a real sense of urgency to him. So I've been really pleased with that whole group. EJ, seems like every day he makes a play. He just kind of flashes about every day, and so really pleased with that whole group from a skill standpoint.
What's the status of Justyn Ross?
Yeah, he got banged up the other day, and he's perfectly fine. He could, he did all the individual and did the, all the RVA and all that, but. They just trying to be precautionary with him because he had kind of some stinger symptoms lingering, and even though he's fine now, they just want to make sure that there's no bigger issue or anything like that. So so hopefully when we get back, we'll have more information at that time, and he'll be fine.
What'd you say out of your back 7 today?
Back 7? Well, Landon Zanders I keep noticing him. He just kind of shows up all the time. I think all of those guys are getting better. Ray Thornton has had an excellent spring. A guy we hadn't really talked a whole lot about. Had surgery last year, had a red shirt. But he's really had a nice spring. Joseph Charleston is a kid that keeps showing up. Jalen Phillips. That whole group, you just notice them. Mickens has got to get in the weight room a little bit, but he's a very natural football player. I see all those guys. I thought DK had his best day today. He was focused. He had a good solid day. Lee Anthony had an excellent day. Fred has been one of our bright spots. He's same thing as Lee Anthony. he's getting all kind of reps, and he's taking advantage of it. He's long, and so I'm really pleased with him. But Mike Jones is another guy that I think's had a really missed a tackle today, but he's had an outstanding spring to this point. A really good spring. And then Skowski, it's almost not fair. I just wish they'd take him out. You know, see, when you put 9 in there and you put 47 in there on defense, I mean, it's just those two guys, they're just at another level. And I mean, he is such a good football player. Balin's out. Balin got banged his shoulder up. He should be back after spring. But those young guys are taking advantage. And I'll tell you, Kevin Sweat, notice him a lot. You know, so Simpson's making a lot of progress. So it's just a good group. We're repping a bunch of guys. I thought KJ Henry was awesome today. Xavier probably had his best day. I noticed Maskell a good bit. Greg Williams is getting better. I mean, it's a group where there's a lot of competition. The same thing inside. I mean, between Tyler and Rook. Rook's made a lot of progress. Darnell's made a lot of progress, and you know, Brzee is coming. I mean, he's coming. Notice him a bunch every time he's in there. So you got a lot of guys getting a bunch of reps. Miles Murphy's another one that you just notice. That's a lot of guys, but that's a good thing. You got a lot of guys that pop in your head.
Dabo, what does Braden Galloway bring to the 5-man wide receiver position? He said he was kind of starting to rep there a little bit.
Well, we just repped him the other day because we had some guys down, but he's a 3-back for us. But you know, same thing whether you call him whether he's at a 5 or a 3, it's the same thing. You know, just he's a slot, and he can run. He brings size. He's a matchup problem, and you know, he's playing with some toughness. But he can run with the ball after the catch. But it's really more what he brings to our tight end position, and that is some big play ability.
You mentioned Greg Williams. Can you expand a little bit on his little journey and how he got here with the injury?
Yeah, well, he's just a guy we found in camp. He was a linebacker, you know, skinny, underdeveloped, but just like long arms. I mean, in fact, we had him stand next to Trey Lamar, I think. But I mean, he's skydiving over Trey. So just big, and just felt like he could be a guy that could really develop. And liked his skill set, his athleticism, his ability to move, and so you know, just a guy we believed in. And he's coming here and put the work in. I mean, you know, y'all seen him. I mean, physically, it's amazing the transformation that's happened for him, and you know, since he got here. And then we moved him to end. That's more of a natural position for him where he is right now. And he's just starting to flash. He's starting to you know, play with a high motor because he's getting more confident. I think he's got a bright future. I really do. He just stay the course. He's a long way from being a polished guy, but he's learning every day. He's got the right work ethic and want to, and he's got a skill set that's very, very good fit for that spot.
Is Justyn serious enough to think he'll miss the rest of the spring, or is that still to be
I
determined?
have no idea. Yeah, that's all. I mean, that just depends. I have no idea. I mean, he looks great to me.
Considering spring break, do you caution the guys about travel?
Yeah, I mean, you know, regardless of all that, I mean, you know, that's something we do every year is talk to our guys about, you know, being careful and being cautious and making good decisions. And, you know, there's consequences for your decisions, good and bad. And you know, you represent Clemson in everything you do, so we always talk about that and try to, you know, really remind these guys of the privilege that we all have. And it's not just the players, the managers, trainers, video people, it's coaches, it's everybody. And so, you know, and then just, you know, really encourage them to enjoy their time. These guys have been grinding, man. They went all the way till January 14th and right back into school. And we started spring ball February 26th. So they really haven't had a break. And so, you know, where something's not going on, whether it was school or workouts or mat drills or meetings or whatever. So I'm really excited for them to get a break, and I'm really proud of what we've gotten accomplished in 9 days. I mean, I feel really good about where we are right now. I like this team as far as where they're, you know, how they're working. There's a good mix. There's really good energy. There's a good vibe. The coaches are doing a great job, and we've just got a lot of talented guys that I know they're just going to get better. because I see the right work ethic, and with that is going to come improvement. They're being coachable as we correct. We've kind of had to slow some installation down, especially offensively with that that whole second group is freshmen. They're all freshmen, offensive line-wise, so we got a lot of work to do, but they're getting better, and so I'm pleased. But as far as coming back, it'll be exciting because when we do get back, and we got a good foundation in place, we can have a little bit more scrimmage work, and hopefully some of these guys will make some good strides between now and practice 15.
With both Travis and Linjay coming back and a couple talented freshman running backs coming in the summer, have you seen kind of a sense of urgency with Malusi and Dukes trying to compete for as many carries as they can get?
Oh yeah, and Rencher. Rencher's just steady Eddie, man. You just count on him. But definitely, Ches and Mikey. Mikey's a guy that I think Ches was a guy that I kind of noticed early in fall camp and kind of knew, hey, he's got some maturity to him. Mikey needed to mature. I just think he was just kind of happy to be there. But I think he's really ramped it up and is competing, very well. So all those guys, obviously got a couple good ones coming in this summer. It'll be a very competitive room for sure.
How would you want guys to make smart choices as far as just obviously spring break stuff, but you haven't told them like where to cut back on travel or anything with the travel restrictions?
I don't think any of them are going to China or Italy or any of those places, but listen, they're going to go where they're going to go, and just try to caution them to be smart, wash your hands, and stay away from sick people, and the obvious things that we should use common sense in doing. And they're going to go home or go to the beach or whatever. So I'm happy they're doing that.
A lot of guys are saying they're making the transition into a leadership role, like KJ and Trevor as well. How do you help them along with that this year?
Well, that's something we do every day. Developing leadership and chemistry is a daily commitment. It just never stops, ever. And so it's our team meetings. It's how we message everything. It's individual meetings and talking to them and just casual chit chat. It's everything. And then it's just how we do our accountability teams. And these guys, there's one right there that I think is a very natural leader. But when KJ first came in here, he wasn't quite mature enough for the guys to take him serious. And now he's put the work in, and he's got a chance to really be an excellent leader for us. And we got a bunch of those guys that I think are assuming those type of roles.
What was your quarterback play today? All three of you guys.
I thought all three did excellent. Trevor missed one throw that he wanted to have back, wide open, had a touchdown. He just missed him, but he made some great plays. Trevor's word right now is precision. That's kind of his challenge to himself, is trying to just have precision in everything he does and just really being fanatical about that. Obviously he's just at another level from the other two when it comes to his foundation of football, what he's been exposed to, his experience and so forth. And so he's really, really challenged himself, and I'm proud of him. He's a great leader. He's unbelievably competitive. He wants to win every drill. He wants to score every time he gets it. And I thought he did a nice job today. He overcame a couple of third downs and longs. He had a 4th and 4 that led to a score that he went and got. He ran the ball well today. So he's doing an awesome job. Super proud of him. And the other two they both made some plays. They both are doing a heck of a job. Tyson had a big 3rd and long throw to Max May, and then DJ came back and had a couple huge plays himself. And, had a nice scramble run. Tyson had a nice scramble run for the first. So, they both did some good things, and we're mixing them up with groups and continue to let them compete. But we got some good guys right there for sure.
What about Will Spiers, the quarterback?
We don't rep him in practice, but he gives us a good arm. He can throw the ball, and he's taking a lot of pride. So he's our 4th Skelly quarterback, and he gives us all of our individual and RBA and all that stuff. And I don't put him out there with live bullets. But I think he's got somewhat of an understanding of our protections. But You know, but he's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job.
I'm sorry. Just for clarity, Justyn's neck was stinger.
He said, yeah, it was a stinger, and he just kind of wasn't really much at all, but he just kind of had a little lingering stinger, and then he was fine. You know, but anytime you have that, it's something that where it lingers just a little bit, you want to be very precautious, and so that's what our doctors are doing. And it's amazing, you know, you've been out here today. I mean, he's running full speed, and it looks great, but you know, just hold him out of contact and make sure that there's no other issues.
How did y'all evaluate his season last year? I know he
Who?
came off that Justyn. He came off that playoff, and everybody's talking about he's going to set the world on fire. Good year, wasn't probably the year everybody was expecting.
He had better stats last year than he had the year before, so he had a pretty good year. I think he had more catches. Go back and verify that. But you guys got any off your head? I think he had more catches.
His yards were low.
Yards were a little
Yeah, he
lower,
had
but
1,000 as a freshman.
had more catches, and he just had maybe more big plays. But that's, you know, sometimes people play you differently, and we had a bunch of games where we didn't play. You know, just think if he'd have played 4 quarters every game. You know, I mean, just go and look at all the games that he didn't play hardly third or fourth quarter. So he did most of that in 2 quarters of play for the majority of the season. What did we win? 12 games by a bunch of points. So, I mean, you know, he had a heck of a year, especially for all the limited play that he had.
Back to Cornell Powell, you mentioned that he's doing really well this spring so far. Saw him do really well in the last spring game last year. What does he need to do to transition that into like Saturdays?
Consistency. That's always been his problem. Just day in, day out. Don't get out competed. You know, that's really it. I mean, I don't have to say it. He's been out competed. He's always been talented. But you know, when you're going against, you know, the best of the best, you have to bring it every single day. And he's had some moments, but he just playing with a high level of intensity and a high motor every day and making every play a game rep. That's how you take it to the next step. And he's kind of always been a guy that's been inconsistent with that. Very talented, but inconsistent with that motor. And you know, some days great, some plays great, and then you kind of take some off, and just sometimes you don't even know he's doing it. So, but he's got a real sense of urgency. He's got a great opportunity. He's competing his tail off, and I mean, he has really had a great 9 days. I mean, I'm not exaggerating that. I mean, he's been really, really good. I'm really proud of him. It ain't ever too late to get it right, and I'm gonna tell you what, he's busted his butt. Proud of him.
You had a reunion with your former players over the weekend. How much fun was that?
One of the best days of my life. I mean, I was overwhelmed. It was emotional, to be honest with you. I was overwhelmed, you know, and all the guys that came, and you know, some came in a little Friday, and some trickled in Saturday morning, watched some practice, but you know, we had a big barbecue at 6 in the indoor, and then we all transitioned, and they had the dining hall set up like a big den almost, and I mean, there was, you know, over 200 and something people in there, and it was pretty emotional to get up and to see all those guys, because to me it just seemed like yesterday. You know, Mike Palmer, you know, Buckholz, who's 34. That's my first kicker. He's 34. I mean, it seems like yesterday to me. And when you get in a setting like that, it's so easy to just boom, you're right back in it's like you feel like you're back in a team meeting, and you're back on practice. I mean, it's just like you kind of go back to that relationship. And these are grown men with kids and jobs and mortgages, and you know, but I was blown away by the turnout. 9 of the 12 Dandy Dozen were here. That was pretty special. Pretty special to be able to visit with them, and it was just an awesome night. And I just tried to kind of give them a good old-fashioned Coach Swinney meeting, like we do on a Friday night, but I did it on a Saturday night. And it was cool to be able to talk to the older version of them. But they had a ball. I'm still recovering, to be honest with you, because we got out. We left the facility. It was a little after midnight, and some of them wanted to go to the house, and I think so. Ended up you know, Sammy Watkins and Carico and Meeks and Gary Peters and Renfro and Martin Jenkins, I think, was in that group. They all wanted to go to the house, so we all go to the house. Well, we all play basketball till 2 o'clock in the morning. They're playing basketball. Sammy's out there, and some kind of fancy high tops with bling on them that I'm sure he's not supposed to be playing basketball in, and tell him what they cost, and but we're all having a ball and playing basketball, and it was just a blast, and then we came in about 2, and then Kath had pizzas everywhere, and so we just had a great time eating pizza and telling stories and laughing at each other. I mean, it was just special. It was such a special moment. And then I'm looking down and I'm like, man, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And then it's like, Cass goes, no, babe, the clocks go forward an hour. It's 4 o'clock. And I just went, oh my Lord. So I actually didn't go to sleep till like 5 a.m. and I'd gotten up at like 6 the day before. So it was such a good time. I mean, I just am so excited to spend time with everyone, and Dwayne Allen. We told all kind of stories, and Grady was up here, and just a special time, and talked about each team, kind of what I felt like each team's identity was, and kind of the story of that team. But those guys truly were the foundational pieces to where we are today, and it was awesome for me to be able to thank them and celebrate them, and just kind of share a little bit about and remind them of who they are and how we all got here, and what we got to do moving forward. So it was a really amazing weekend. Travis Blanks did an amazing job of pulling it all together, and I appreciate all of our guys that came. They were awesome.
You mentioned Andrew Booth earlier. What part of his knee had to get cleaned up? And was he a guy that y'all considered redshirting in 2019?
We talked about it like for a millisecond, but we just felt like that. Whatever experience he got was going to help him mentally, and just knowledge and being in the meetings and going through the reps, and he could do all that, and he could go play. We knew that he needed to. At the end of the season, we were going to have to kind of clean him up a little bit. It was really a high school thing where it started and what he's dealing with, but he's doing great, and we're being very precautious with him. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing with him, because he's doing Skelly, he's doing individual, he's doing some team stuff separate, but we're just not letting him do any of the full speed competitive, keeping him in green right now. But hopefully after spring break, we'll ramp that up. But I'm really encouraged by what I'm seeing out of him as far as just his understanding, how he's moving, his alignments, understanding leverage, and he looks great. He feels good, looks great, and hopefully that'll transition well for him. Spring break!